entrepreneur, marketing professional, and a gender equality advocate with a passion for youth skills development, vocational education, co-founder of EdSource Africa Limited, and vice chair of KEPSA's Education Sector Board. She champions policy, advocacy, sustainable development, and inclusive frameworks. Afia Foundations. Let us now put our hands together as she takes the microphone. You are welcome, Priscilla.
Thank you, Dottie. By the way, I think I just came here by mistake. I didn't know how it was working. Thank you. And I'm really honored to be here this afternoon. Where do I start? So first of all, I've also come with my daughter. So maybe Gemma may not be the youngest. I've also come with my daughter today. Sorry? Yeah. I've also come with my daughter, and I also see my friend Alice and Jane. I don't know if there's anybody else, but I know there's some who are still on their way. I'm very honored to be here today. A few weeks ago, I had gone to the market, and while I was looking for whatever it was I was buying, the guy who I was buying from was telling his friend, because of the Lutonomics, he was like, mi sahi ndo nasikia ningesoma zaidi, nijue kizungu, sahi ningekuwa kwa ofisi nikichapa kizungu mob, sasa hii ni story gani? I wanted to tell the guy, my friend, uko sasa ndio kuna mashida, afadhali hapa you can pick one coin or so. So I started my career in sales and marketing. Oh, the reason I told you that story is because I'm going to request you to allow me to read my speech. I'm not very good at speaking from, like, guys just talk. I'm hoping I can go and learn pedagogy, or is it learning master, I don't know, some master class to speak from my mind. So please allow me to read. So I started my career in sales and marketing. And for anyone who's ever been in sales, I think that is the real risk. Those are the real risk takers. Sales teaches you patience, mostly, please bold, patience and resilience. And I think with that, you can do anything. And I think from there, it's easy to progress now into self-employment or entrepreneurship. So now to my speech. So I just want to say that I have had various defining moments when it comes to risk-taking. I remember when I finished from university, Baraton University, very many years ago. That's where I met Alice. I had the choice of either looking for a job or joining the family business. My dad, at that point, or still is, running a marketing, advertising, and event management firm. So for me, that was the point when I had to decide, do I look for a job or do I go into the family business? So I decided to go into the family business. I think I speak a little bit about it in the book. And so from there, my life took a trajectory that now looking back, I'm actually deeply thankful for, because this decision also helped me transition into entrepreneurship, which I believe, again, is another very big risk, because you step into the unknown and often with no guarantees. But looking back, I see that it was also those challenging moments that I grew most. I learned, I evolved, and I found strength in now everything that I'm doing. During the process of writing my chapter, I also came about something called learned helplessness, which goes hand in hand with imposter syndrome. And a lot of women suffer from that. So as I reflect on my journey, I am also particularly proud of a unique challenge I took. When Mr. Dosso called me to take up this opportunity, I was excited, but at the same time, I was writing another book simultaneously, and they both had the same deadlines. So the book that I was working on is called The Ethic of Excellence. It's a book that explores the value of fair opportunities and nurturing ethical leadership. So balancing these two projects taught me discipline and focus, and together, these books represent my commitment to inspiring others and creating a meaningful impact. As I was sitting here, my friend Jane sent me a message. She was like, "I know you're a real risk taker." Jane is the I don't know if she'll allow me to say this, but she's the CEO of Kenya Association of International Schools. And for a very long time, we were trying to do some project together. So we signed a contract in 2016. We eventually did this project in 2019. And she was like, my God, if patience was a person. So I'd also want to say that none of this would have been possible without the foundation laid by my parents, whose unwavering dedication has taught me the importance of perseverance and the strength that comes from believing in your own vision. My mother especially has shown me the courage it takes to embrace risks and see challenges not as obstacles, but as stepping stones. This book, We Took the Risk, is a reminder that risks create opportunities, open doors, and pave the way for others. To every reader, I'd like you to know this. Risks are not meant to be easy, but they are always transformative, and each risk taken is a step toward growth. So as I conclude, I just want to share that the one woman, I've already talked about my mother, and she's the one woman who has really influenced my journey greatly. Mrs. Margaret Masara, she's not here today. She had to travel home. She stands as a remarkable example of courage and resilience. She broke down boundaries in an industry where nurses, especially women, were not allowed to operate their own medical clinics. But she went against the odds and carved a path for herself. 40 years later, she's still doing that. She's still doing what was thought impossible, inspiring generations, and with her unwavering determination and pioneering spirit. A nurse by profession, she was trained by missionary nurses, and often shares wisdom she learned from them. She calls them sisters. And she tells me, she always reminds me, every time I'm feeling low, or every time I'm like, I am not taking this chance, or I'm not taking this risk. So she'll always tell me, Omongina, that's what she calls me. For a woman, as long as you have had the opportunity to get an education, you have been empowered to be whatever you want to be. I hope that sinks with all of you. The sky is not even the limit. So finally, to the young people here or wherever who are watching us, or who will ever get to watch this, I want to remind you that every great achievement begins with a leap of faith. Risk is the bridge between where you are and where you aspire to be. Remember, the greatest stories ever told are those of individuals who dared to risk. Let yours be one of them. As we launch this book, I hope it inspires you to take risks of your own, to trust your journey, and to embrace the challenges that come with it. I have come to appreciate that writing is an act of vulnerability, because in writing you expose your thoughts, your experiences to the world, and you require courage to share private reflections to the public, knowing that you will be criticized or misunderstood. Through the pages of this book, the co-authors embraced our vulnerability and turned our personal journeys into stories that we hope will empower and inspire others to boldly pursue their own. I'll finish off with Ariana Huffington. She says, we need to accept that we won't always make the right decisions, that we will screw up royally sometimes, but understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. To my co-authors, thank you for the collaboration and for your dedication to this project. And thank you very much, Dottie and Mr. Dosso of Zion Pearl, for giving us this opportunity. Thanks.
Let's put our hands together for Priscilla. Thank you so much. And thank you for reminding me that we have another junior in the house. So